Hello, thank you for checking out the Wise Owl channel. This is a battle report, 1,000 points between Dark Elves and Dwarves. Here's the Dark Elf list. You can see at the top left there a unit of Witch Elves. Behind them is the Dark Elf Lord on Pegasus. And then there's a unit of Warlocks, large block of Executioners, another unit of Warlocks, and then finishing off the bottom is another unit of Witch Elves with the Flaming Banner. I'm playing Dwarves. My list was very quickly thrown together. I wasn't really paying attention. I have no magical defense. Just a bad list right from the get-go. But here we go. I've got a Gyro Bomber, which I'm only bringing because I painted it and I've never seen it in play. So a Gyro Bomber. Behind that's the Grudge Thrower, a block of Longbeards with the Dwarf Lord on shield and a BSB. And then beside them is a unit of Miners. Now I expected to face Orcs and Goblins, which is why I brought the Miners and wanted something to come in on the back and take care of war machines, but I ended up facing Dark Elves, so the Miners weren't really needed, so I decided not to bother with the ambush rule and just put them out beside the Longbeards. So Dwarves won first turn, the Gyro Bomber moved up, the Longbeards marched, the Miners just stayed where they were. During shooting, the Gyro Bomber used the clatter gun to take a shot at those vanguarded Warlocks, killed one. The Gyro Bomber also took a shot at those Warlocks and killed one. Probably should have taken a shot at the Witch Elves or the Executioners, but every time I face Dark Elves, I get so worried about those Warlocks and I focus on them, and I don't know if that's the right choice or not. Anyway, that was it for Dwarves turn 1, on to Dark Elves turn 1. In Dark Elf turn 1, the Warlocks moved up beside the Miners and during the magic phase blasted them with Soul Blight and killed 8. The Witch Elves up in the top of the board failed to restrain for Frenzy and had to try and charge the Gyro Bomber. It took a stand and shoot reaction, killed 2. The Witch Elves failed their charge and just trundled forward a little bit. The other unit of Witch Elves and the Executioners just moved up, and that was the end of Dark Elf turn 1. In Dwarf turn 2, the Gyro Bomber, still focusing on those Warlocks, moves over to drop the large template bomb. I don't know why I'm still focused on the Warlocks. I really should have moved the Gyro Bomber over the Witch Elf unit, or even better, over the Executioner's unit, and drop the large template there. But like I said, every time I face Dark Elves, I get preoccupied with those Warlocks and need to remember to not do that. Anyway, I did wound all 3, but the Dark Elf player saved those wounds with the 4-up ward save that the Warlocks get, so nothing happened there. Also in turn 2, the Longbeards walked into that tower. The Miners didn't really do anything. With only the 2 models there, they're not really effective anymore. I just left them there to kind of tie up those Warlocks. Either the Warlocks are going to shoot at them, which saves my other unit, or the Warlocks are going to charge them, in which case I'll probably just flee with them. The Grudge Thrower took a shot at the Executioners and killed 3. So that's it for Dwarf turn 2. In Dark Elf turn 2, lots of charges. The Witch Elves with the Flaming Banner charged the tower. The Warlocks charged the Miners. The Miners just decided to flee. The Warlocks couldn't chase them down. The other unit of Warlocks charged the Grudge Thrower, no surprise there. And finally, the Master on Pegasus charged the Gyro Bomber. The Dark Elf Master on the Dark Pegasus made quick work of the Gyro Bomber. The 3 warlocks managed to finish off the grudge thrower, but the attack in the tower was a little bit more interesting. The witch elves had a flaming banner, so they got to re-roll their wounds. They managed to kill 7 longbeards, which was a bit more than I had hoped, but in the counterattack, the longbeards killed off all 10 of those witches, and so we went on to dwarf turn 3. The miners didn't rally, so they continued to flee another 9 inches, popped through the Dark Elf Master, but didn't take a wound. In Dark Elf turn 3, the Warlocks tried to get off Soul Blight. We dispelled it. The second unit of Warlocks, however, did get Soul Blight through, so the Longbeards are -1 Strength, -1 Toughness. That second unit of Witch Elves charged the building. They killed 4 Longbeards. The Longbeards killed 10, or 8, I think there were, Witch Elves. So that brought us to turn 4. The Dwarves did absolutely nothing. The Miners fled off the table. In Dark Elf turn 4, the Executioners charged the building. With the magic phase managing to get Soul Blight off again, so -1 Strength, -1 Toughness. The Executioners focused a lot of their attacks on my BSB and managed to kill him. The Longbeards in their counterattack, I think we killed 5 or 6 Executioners, and so pushed them out of the building. That brought us to Dwarf turn 5. Nothing happens, no movement, no charges, of course. We just stick it in that tower. So Dark Elf turn 5. Soul Blight goes off again. The Executioners have charged. They kill 1 Longbeard. They did get Killing Blow on the Dwarf General, but he managed to ward save it. And then I think we killed another 5 or 6 Executioners, so pushed them out of the building again. In Dwarf turn 6, there was nothing going on. In Dark Elf turn 6, they put 1 more wound on the General, but he ward saved it. I think by this time he was the only one in the tower. He managed to kill another 3 Dark Elf Executioners, and that brought us to the end of the game. So Dwarves had 1 model left on the table, that Dwarf Lord on Shield, who has the 1-up armor and the 4-up ward save. Just an awesome character, really hard to kill. But of course, he was totally surrounded by Dark Elves, which he was okay with. He was just going to sit in that tower and drink beer all day and kill the odd Executioner who decided to come up the stairs. But clearly a win for the Dark Elves, and I don't know how to deal with this Dark Elf list. It's such a small list, but so many powerful models. Anyway, thanks for watching. Would love to hear your feedback on the battle and comments on how you think things went. Both the Dark Elf player and the Dwarf player would love to hear your comments on strategy and so on. So leave your comments below. Subscribe if you haven't. Thanks for watching.